Welcome to the What If Ask AI channel. On this channel, we ask multiple AI services what if questions. The what if questions was made back in my childhood when I was asked to put all my questions in a binder because my family was tired of me asking them all the questions I had in mind. Now, later in the future, I'm taking the questions I made from my childhood and asking the AI services the questions and reviewing and judging their responses. I hope you enjoy this channel. Welcome back to the What If Ask AI channel, and today we're looking at this question right here. What if two intersecting trains crashed? And as always, I have two examples of what if questions with answers to help give the AI services an example of what I'm looking for. And the AI services I'll be using today are ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Perplexity, and Duck AI. So let's get started by asking ChatGPT, what if two intersecting trains crashed? Okay, here's ChatGPT's answer to that question. That would likely be a very serious accident with the potential of significant damage and injuries. I would hope that emergency responders arrived quickly, that everyone possible was safely rescued, and that measures were taken afterward to help prevent a similar incident in the future. Okay, now let's ask Copilot that same question. What if two intersecting trains crashed? Here's the answer that Copilot gave me. So the answer to that question is I'd say that would be a pretty serious situation, and I'd hope everyone involved stayed safe. Now let's ask Gemini that same question. What if two intersecting trains crashed? Okay, here's Gemini's answer. Well, that would be a catastrophic disaster, and I would certainly hope that emergency services would respond as quickly as possible to help anyone affected. And here is Perplexity. I'm going to ask it, what if two intersecting trains crashed? Okay, I'm going to read the answer that Perplexity gave me. Short answer, a crash between two intersecting trains would be catastrophic with serious safety and societal implications. I'll lay out the basics, then offer a constructive take on what could be learned or applied from analyzing such a scenario. What defines intersecting trains? If they share a common track, segment, or route that runs on a collision course, the likelihood of a crash depends on signaling, train control, speed, and human factors. Immediate outcomes: high risk of multiple casualties, extensive damage to rolling stock and infrastructure, a debris that can affect nearby lines, stations, or communities. Key failure modes: signaling, miscommunication of failure, human error, track switching errors, and inadequate protection for the junction where routes cross or merge. Systemic lessons: such incidents spur investigation that can lead to robust safety systems, automatic train control, positive train control like tech, upgraded signaling, redundancy in switches, better crew training, stricter maintenance regimes, and improved emergency response plans. Real-world context: railway safety has dramatically reduced fatalities in many regions through layered defense, supervisory systems that override human error, automatic braking, and real-time monitoring. Okay, and here's Duck AI. I'm going to ask it that same question. What if two intersecting trains crashed? Okay, Duck AI's answer, that would be devastating. Lots of injuries or worse, and it would require an immediate emergency response, investigation, and major safety changes to prevent it from happening again. Okay, I got my rankings for the AI services, with 1 being the best and 5 being the worst for this episode, and number 5 is Copilot. And the reason I put it as number 5 is just because all the other answers said a little bit more than just pretty serious, and I hope everybody stayed safe. Um, the other answers, when we go through them, they talk about like, you know, first responders coming to help. What can we do to make sure this never happens again, and things like that. So that's why I put Copilot as number 5. And for number 4, I put Gemini. And Gemini, the reason I put it as number 4 is because, you know, it said it would be a catastrophic disaster. And then also it mentioned that emergency services, it hopes that it would respond as quickly as possible to anyone that was affected. So a little bit more than Copilot. Some of the other ones talk about what can we do to prevent this from happening again. So that's why I put Gemini in the ranking of 4 this episode. And then number 3, I have Duck AI. And Duck AI, it says like this would be devastating, lots of injuries are worse, and it require an immediate emergency response and investigation and major safety changes to prevent it from happening again. So that's why I put Duck AI as number 3, because it talks about how can we prevent this from happening again. And then number 2, I have ChatGPT. Very similar to Duck AI's answer. It says that it's a serious accident with the potential of significant damage and injuries. And it also talks about that it would hope that emergency services arrived quickly and everybody was rescued, and that measures were taken afterward to prevent a similar incident in the future. And then for number 1, I have Perplexity. Perplexity had a short answer. You know, it just said like a crash between 2 intersecting trains would be catastrophic with serious safety and social implications. But the reason I put it as number 1 is because it kind of like brought out some things to mention. And specifically, that this part I didn't read, but I'm going to read it to you. It kind of like wanted me to give more information. So like, are the train's passengers afraid? Are we talking about a junction with a signal light system, a track switch, or a level crossing? What era or region are we imagining? So like the modern automated systems are older signaling. So like when I came up with this question in my youth, I just thought about just 2 trains. I didn't think about like where the trains were or what type of trains they are. So I like how it kind of gave that back to me, and if I wanted to, I could continue the discussion. So but even without that, you know, the answer part, it said catastrophic, and then with serious safety and social toll implications. So that really, I do like that part as well. So that's why I put it as number 1. So again, my rankings for today are Copilot is 5, Gemini is 4, Duck AI is 3, ChatGPT is 2, and Perplexity is 1. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.